Regulators!
3, 2, 1.
And here we go.
On my own, here we go.
If you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
The communists declared that the real differences among our people constituted the weakest and most vulnerable point in our social fabric.
It's MAGA country.
This is no hoax, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you to run for your lives while you can. We're not making this up just so we can take over the world.
The old dinosaur media isn't dying, it's dead. We are the new media.
This is our world now. Lay down and die.
Peace was never an option.
So if we don't step up and win this culture war, then who the fuck will?
Let's wake the fuck up!
We're gonna get naked.
No. I'm locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
That's what you've been waiting for. Be the one we need.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Global industrial complex.
Yep.
Uniparty.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
The point is to destroy Western civilization from within using Maoist technique.
So therefore you have to vote for me.
I don't know. This is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hey.
Woke is Marxism, evolved to attack the West.
Stop giving up.
It's only just begun! Now!
Do it! Yes, you can!
I'm gonna do what's called a pro-gamer move.
Just do it!
Are people bitching about that?
Some people.
Of course they are. Oh, fucking A. All right, got it. Yeah, too fucking bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Far left conspiracies, to be honest with you.
Ain't no single entity going to swoop in and save the day. You are going to be continuously let down if you place all of your hope into one individual. Instead, look inside and look around. We're doing this together.
We all are fighting for the same thing, and we all see the same problem.
It's time to stop being an NPC, get off your ass, and join the meme war.
Shame! Shame!
No, I don't like you.
Shame!
If we were in the wild, I would attack you.
I'm sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. I will not do it again.
Thank you.
I wonder how many people feel exactly the same way.
Be the beating drum at the head of the growing creative cavalry charge. Be vocal and profound in your passion for projects you enjoy.
No more excuses.
I've seen it, I can't even compute all of it. It's so fantastical. You've not seen nothing. You ain't heard nothing. You ain't smelled nothing like this. I don't have words to tell you.
A new world order.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Hey, wait a minute!
You control population, you destroy the family, and then you you sow division.
You don't need a destination when you're running on an omnidirectional treadmill.
Are we ready for a new world order?
You'll never defeat the human spirit! You'll never defeat God! You'll never win!
Pray that he is watching.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you.
On my own, here we go.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And then what happened? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chilling with Sasquatch, the premise of which was originally just to kind of be doing whatever it is I was doing whenever the time came around to go live, and it kind of morphed into this review of various crimes, criminals, and interrogations. Everything from, yeah, right. That way it's an intro and an outro, and I don't have to be so picky about when I use it. Because, you know, lazy. Very, very lazy. You want in, hon? I'll send you a link. And how does this make you feel? Oh, your crazy neighbor? I could give less of a shit about your crazy neighbor, bro. But I'll tell you what, it ain't this guy. This guy, right? So, let's see if I can say his name right. Javed Iqbal, I think, if I remember right. Anyway, homie basically made a profession out of brainwashing young boys, and he used young boys to capture more young boys and created something of a little sick empire. He claimed at one point that he had removed 100 victims. But that was about midway, apparently, through his career. So I don't really think that's the whole story. And this is a fairly chunky video. So it's 35 minutes, but it's 35 minutes of kind of rapid fire facts. And not everything that's said actually makes a whole lot of sense. For a while, I thought they might have actually been talking about two different men and had accidentally attributed them to the same person, but doing a little bit of looking into it, no, I'm fairly confident this was all one dude, one guy, one person with apparent head scars. But let's see. We're going to talk to chat for a second, which is going to be very quick because there's nobody here. M's Mad World showed up. It's always cool. Andy Pickle, good to see you, bud. Ajot, who has left already, which is cool. And as far as how your crazy neighbor makes me feel, brah, that's not even my concern. I don't know where you are. I don't want to know where you are, but I'm pretty sure it's far enough away I ain't got to sweat your crazy neighbor. What's up, Bootsy? Welcome in, KK Bootsy. Good to see you. I've got this this absolutely magnificent candle over here that smells just like coffee, and it is driving me absolutely crazy. So at some point in time here in the very near future, I'm going to have to go get me some coffee. And that's all there is to that, right? But I don't really see a point. Why is that not working? Oh, cool. It's just going to take its time tonight. I did not hear a bit of the intro tune. That whole thing froze up in the first 3 notes and did not start working until it got to me laughing at the end. The fuck the shit I'm out bit played. That's about it. So we'll see how YouTube goes. We'll see how the freaking rainstorm that's currently pelting down on us goes. We'll see, you know, how all this stuff goes. If it goes, we'll do it. If it don't go, I'm probably just going to go get me a pint and sack out, because I don't really see a point in beating my head against a wall that's actually not even there. All right, that's not true. I quite often beat my head against walls, whether they're there or not. And then what happened? And how does that make you feel, right? Okay. Psychology.
Javed Iqbal went on an unprecedented... In the year 1999, Javed Iqbal went on an unprecedented spree of vicious killings. In 6 months, 100 boys vanished, murdered, and mutilated by the monster named Javed Iqbal. 100 murders, 6 months? How? Welcome back to Twisted Minds. My name is James, and this is the sickening case of Javed Iqbal. Faisal Razik was a 9-year-old boy who worked in a factory folding boxes to make a living. He had a home, and his parents loved him. But they were also terribly poor. So poor that everyone in their family, including 9-year-old Faisal, had to make ends meet, or they would starve. So every morning at dawn...
Okay, so one good thing that has come from this AI fiasco, this whole thing that's happening, is these panels and these just general narrative tales have become so much better. I mean, that is cool. Look at that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's layered, but whatever. It's still cool as feck.
Faisal would dash down to the factory and work till dusk for what was often a measly wage. Now, you must know that Faisal's case wasn't an exception. It was the rule. Back in 1999, poverty levels in both rural and urban areas in Pakistan were at an all-time high. In fact, the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan estimated that in the 90s, 11 million children had jobs, and half of them were under the age of 10. So while his life might be alarming to you, for Faisal, it was perfectly normal. It remained perfectly normal until the morning of the 9th of July, 1999. As usual, Faisal left home in the morning to go to work. But he didn't return that night, and he didn't return any night after. He was missing. Where was Faisal? His employers told his anxious parents that they hadn't seen him anywhere. His underage colleagues had also not seen him. So Faisal's desperate parents were forced to turn to the police for help. But the police were nonchalant. Go check the house of your relatives, they said. Your child probably ran away. Of course, this wasn't true.
So there will be nothing good in any of these stories. They are all absolutely terrible. And quite frankly, they depress me to have to go over them. But each one is interesting in its own right. No, because you are the crazy neighbor. I'm getting a lot of those, bro. Y'all need to calm down. Stop with the laser lights and stuff. You're freaking the cat out.
Faisal hadn't run away. The tragic truth was, 9-year-old Faisal had been taken by Javed Iqbal. The poor boy was one victim out of the 100.
Welcome in, exiled one. I wasn't trying to skip you.
That Javed violated and slaughtered. Ijaz Muhammad was another one of those unfortunate victims. His family called him Kaka, after the legendary Brazilian soccer player. But...
Right. I'm sure he didn't have 36 older brothers that all called him Little Kaka.
While Ijaz might have been good with his feet, he was also skilled with his hands. At the age of 13, Ijaz and his older teenage brother were full-time freelance masseuses who roamed the streets of Lahore in worn-out sandals and hung out in the gardens of Minari, Pakistan, cleaning colorful bottles of ointment to draw the attention of customers. They also wore ankle bracelets studded with shiny stones that attracted men who paid for head and shoulder massages. Sometimes...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very pregnant pause. That was a very, very pregnant pause. I can't help but think that it was intentional. Wow.
And this was a sickening horde of men who paid for head and shoulder massages. Sometimes, and this was a sickening horror of the job, some of these same men would force themselves on Ijaz and his brother. And it was a cruel trade and a desperate existence. But neither Ijaz nor his brother could have guessed that it was about to take another turn for the worse. In October 1999, two boys approached Ijaz and his brother in the gardens of Minari, Pakistan. These boys told the two hustling siblings that their boss needed a massage.
Wait. Did homie just say his name was Ijaz and he's not a rapper? How did that happen? No.
He was willing to pay double for home service. Ijaz's older brother remembers following the two boys for a short distance through winding paths until they got to a house numbered 16B on Ravi Road. There, they met a short, bespectacled man with neatly kept hair, a calm demeanor, and a limp. Ijaz stayed to massage this man, and his older brother left to find other customers. Unfortunately, the short, neat man in glasses was Javed Iqbal, and Ijaz was never found alive. No one knew it at the time.
Right. So the reason he's not a SoundCloud rapper is because he's probably deceased. That's the only excuse I would accept.
But the gardens of Maniri, Pakistan had become Javed's hunting ground. And he had 3 teenage boys who helped him carry out his atrocities. 17-year-old Sajid Ahmed, 15-year-old Mohammed Nadim, and 13-year-old Mohammed Sabir. They had most definitely been assaulted and brainwashed by Javed. And they helped the serial killer lure unsuspecting kids to his home, where he took sexual advantage of them.
Just so you know, for whatever reason, my StreamYard is being really, really sketchy.
Sketchy?
Yeah. Like, half the things I click don't work, or when they start working, they cause something else to stop working. It's really sketchy. Like,
you sure it's StreamYard and not YouTube?
Well, I'm using YouTube to show the video and make the sound, but I'm talking like doing this stuff right here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I do this or I highlight a comment, as long as that's running, the comment doesn't come up. It just like enters this limbo of not quite there and not quite gone, so that I can't either bring it up or bring it down until I stop this.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm not happy about it. It's been doing this for about the past week and a half. Pretty much ever since I tried to do the vertical thing, and it was fine. And then the second time I tried to do it, like it had my screen all messed up for some weird reason. And this time I just looked at it and went, man, I don't even wanna. I don't wanna. You can't make me. I'm not gonna. Right? Good to see you, Claiborne. Welcome to the show. We appreciate your patronage. Right? Oh, yeah, no, when you're using StreamYard quite often, I suspect, I can't prove this, but I suspect that your sound priority is based off of where you are in the stack or where you arrived in the list. And I can't decide which one it is. You ever notice that sometimes you go into a panel and certain people can just talk over you? It just clips your mic out every time they speak. And sometimes you're the one clipping other people's mics out.
Yeah.
Why? What determines that? What is the deciding point at which, your mic takes precedent over someone else's mic? I suspect it's whoever has been in the studio the longest. So even if the host drops out and comes back, suddenly he becomes second fiddle on his own mic. I think because I can't relate it to anything that I do, making it different. So like I can't choose to make, say, you be able to talk over flow state, but sometimes it happens.
Right.
And sometimes it's the other way around. So has anyone come across that one and figured it out? Because it sounds strange, but it actually makes sense. There would have to be a hierarchy of microphones. You couldn't have them all working equally. There's no such thing. Because you got one chick over here who's using one of those earbud mics that she's holding up. Another guy over there has this phone sitting on the table across the room. The quality of sound is so different that you would expect there to be like a built-in hierarchy for that kind of stuff. If there is, I can't figure out what it is that causes it. I don't know.
I don't know.
100 victims. And that's just the ones he admitted to.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it gets way, way creepier. So much worse.
Strangled them to death, cut their bodies up, and dissolved their remains in acid before dumping it in a river in Lahore. The number 100 was deliberate. It was the number he had thought deeply about before he chose it. And he didn't stop his rampage until he violated his 100th victim. In late November of 1999, Javed sent a self-incriminating package to the Lahore police office. It contained pictures of little boys and a detailed letter where Javed described excruciatingly how he had assaulted, murdered, and dismembered 100 boys. For some reason, most of the policemen felt it was a lie, a stunt.
Exclusively.
Oh my God.
Right? Sup, Irish Rover in Florida. Generally specific. We got ATL Transparency News and Frank Perez 279.
Hello, hello.
I thought that said Frank for Prez. I was going to change my mind. Come on, my bud. We're running.
It probably read like fiction to them. But in the spirit of due diligence, they paid a visit to the address where the letter was mailed, 16B Ravi Road. When they arrived, Iqbal was at home. But when they questioned him about the letter, he snapped and behaved like he was possessed. When they tried to press him for answers, he pulled out a gun and threatened to shoot himself if they didn't leave. So the police left. They didn't even bother to check inside the home.
Like I said, there's nothing good in these videos. It is absurd, and it keeps getting more absurd as it goes along. Unreal.
If they had, they would have found damning evidence, enough to prove that this was no joke. However, by the time the police returned to their station, they not only waved off the case, they dismissed the entire thing as a waste of time. They knew Javed Iqbal well enough. In fact,
no. When they showed up, that dude creeped him out so freaking hard that the police said, screw this. I'm not going back. Which, fear of the life?
A little bit.
The police department had a long history of exchanges like these with the man. And that's why when the officer in charge of the courtesy visit was asked for a report, he said, Javed wasn't a killer of hundreds of kids. He was a nutcase. And that officer, and probably the entire police force of Lahore, didn't know was that Javed had just finished an unbelievable reign of crimes. And it was his oversized sense of self-importance that was responsible for the letter he sent. Javed was seeking...
Did he just call that guy a narcissist?
Yep, I think so.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Attention, a spotlight on himself and his atrocities. It was the end of the road. This was his final card, and he was trying to send a loud message. So he decided to send the same package elsewhere, to a place where he knew it wouldn't be ignored. Javed sent the same package to the office of the Jang, Pakistan's most popular Urdu language newspaper. A letter in the package described in excruciating detail how Javed lured boys to his house to sodomize them, how he strangled them and dissolved their bodies in acid. He mentioned in sick, twisted details the exact parts of their body he fancied and the date.
And then he had his first rap song come out. No, this isn't the guy. See, no, the kid's name was Ejaz, and if there was ever a SoundCloud rapper, that kid was born for it. I'm not trying to be mean to the kid or nothing. Like I said, all of this is absolutely terrible. But if I had the name of Ejaz, I would be a SoundCloud rapper. If you had the name of Ejaz, you too would be a SoundCloud rapper. I don't think you could help it.
What the French?
He brought them in. He also documented the name of each victim, their home address, the color of their clothing, and the shape of their faces. And if this wasn't strange enough, Javed Iqbal also recorded the amount it cost him to dispose of it.
No, it's got plenty fucking weird, dude. You don't... Okay.
Welcome in, no fear.
Yeah, no fear, welcome in. This is an excellent place for that name. I hope it pays off for you. Because this dude's nuts. Both of them.
So he murdered 100 boys and then
It's worse. It's worse than that. He admitted to murdering 100 boys in the way that he wanted to.
And
But
then wanted it to be known.
yes, he wanted it to be known. So he told everybody and nobody believed him. And then he sent packages to places and they still didn't freaking believe him. And when they came to arrest him, he threatened to kill himself and they went, okay, and left. And so he sent another package describing absolutely every detail of all of his crimes to the most popular Urdu-speaking newspaper, Urdu-written newspaper in the country. And that's about where we're at now. He included how much it cost him to murder the kids, how much time it took, how many of them, various names, most of their names, in fact, descriptions, and his preference and body parts for each of them.
Oh.
Like I said, I kind of did this one first so I could go ahead and get it out of the way. I mean, rest of the videos are terrible, but at least there's jokes in them. But this is one of those.
I mean, the cost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which means, like, you have to think about this. It's not. He didn't keep track of just the cost that it took to kidnap and murder and torture these kids or whatever it was he did to them. There's more, bro. There is more. Like, what's up, Lawless? Welcome in, bud.
Hey.
So, like, he admits to 100 kids, but the way he phrased it was really weird. He wanted to kill them in a certain way, and he admitted he wanted to kill 100 children that way. How many did he?
Children.
Young boys specifically. I don't
Oh
think
my
there's
God.
going to be a rational answer to any of that. I mean, think about it. He's obviously mad.
He audited his own murder spree. Oh my God.
Oh, yep. Accurate description of what's taking place right now. He is straight up sending them an itinerary and bill. Right?
Did you send the family the oh yes.
That's deep, bro. That's a deep cut.
What's up, Shizzle?
Shizzle. Welcome in,
Shizzle,
bud.
my dizzle.
So, Lawless, what up with you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
Now
sir.
we can.
All right. Good afternoon or good morning. Great day to everybody.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, Army vet knows about the story when he was stationed in Afghanistan.
Afghanistanus.
Afghanistanus.
That's good. I like that. Chilling like a villain, cheating, robbing.
Chilling like a villain.
Yep. I know how it goes. My back is itching like crazy. And I have a damaged shoulder, and there's no way I'm getting to it. That shit just is not happening. I'm losing my mind. All right, so you up to snuff yet, Lawless? You know what's going on, or did you just find a little?
I'm gathering this stuff.
Okay,
right
so this guy in somewhere in India, Afghanistan, somewhere over there, I can't remember, Bangladesh or some shit. He's foreign, right? He decided he was going to kill 100 young boys, specifically a certain type of young boy, right? But I have the sneaking suspicion that 100 that he claimed was a drop in the bucket because he wanted them done a certain way. And I suspect that if it failed to go the way he wanted it to go, he would just kill them and not count it.
Right.
Like any kid that ever screamed and attracted attention, he just smashed them in the head, and that one didn't count. We moved on.
Yeah, that makes sense, of course.
It never says that, and he never admits to anything like that, except for the way the letters were phrased, implies that only the ones done a certain way actually counted to him. And that's what I'm getting at. But there's so much more to this story than just the fact that he killed 100 kids, because he doesn't immediately go to jail. They know who he is. They know where he's at. He's been telling people for years, and everybody thought he was just nuts and crazy, but he was sending people evidence too. So I don't get that.
Did you read what Army vet said?
Motive for committing his murders was his infuriation over a perceived injustice at the hands of the Lahore police. Yeah, no, he gets into some of that. I mean, it led with him having run-ins with the cops early on in his life, and then, yeah, I mean, that's very possible.
Bodies. Everything from the cost of the acid to the cost of transporting their remains to the river. All of this was bad enough, but for me, the most chilling item in this package were the pictures. Photographs of every child he claimed to have killed.
Yeah.
He had taken these photographs before he killed them,
Not all of
before
them.
they even knew the monster he was. So, each image had the innocence, often confused eyes of hundreds of boys, curiously staring into the camera, most of them smiling, tragically unaware of the terrible fate that lay ahead. This is why it makes no sense that the police didn't take Javed's case seriously. There was just too much in that package to brush it off as the musings of a crazy person. Thankfully, the journalists who received the package were curious enough to carry out their own investigations. If this was real...
Okay, so it wasn't the police that took interest. It was the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
The impression I get is he sent more evidence to the newspaper than he did to the police.
You know, it's funny. This sounds surprisingly similar to the Wineville horror murders. I don't know if you know about that.
I may have to look into that one.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Chicken coop murders, and I say it because it's actually a town that's right next to me.
Oh,
so yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
It is. It is.
What's up, Woody Johnson? Welcome in, bud. We got Izzy. We got. Okay, you want to say that one? You can say that
Izzy.
No, not that one. This one. Susanna Morgion. Proud single mom.
Susanna, proud single mom. Great to see you. Great to have you.
He does what I do.
What do I do?
I just, skip the name we can't pronounce. I don't want to mess it up, so.
Susanna, proud single mom. Hello, hey.
Following his attack and arrest had broken hell over him. He therefore resolved to make 100 mothers suffer and cry for their sons, as his late mother had been forced to for him.
Forced to cry for him. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Right? Oh, fucking nightmare. This dude's a monster. This probably should, but he's not a monster by design. I guess he is, sort of. He designed his own monstrosity, but this is nightmarish, dude. The amount of planning and technical know-how that he utilizes, he's basically auditing his own murder spree. Yes, that's accurate.
Right, but this is not something that he just, it can't be something that he just woke up. No, I think it was like in him the whole time.
He planned it. He's been
right.
He told people he was going to do it while he was growing up. He came up with some, I don't know. Just watch the video. It explains more as you go along, because he had correspondence with people and stuff. It wasn't that he was just out murdering kids. He made a lifestyle of it. Just
oh wow.
Check this monster out,
okay.
Dude. It's crazy.
Crazy.
It would be the story of the century in Pakistan. But if they were going to publish it, they had to go to the house where the package was mailed from. 16B Ravi Road. An inconspicuous house on a dead-end street. But no one was around. The house itself was locked and abandoned. So the journalists scaled a fence and found their way in. The first thing that hit them was the stench. They immediately identified the pungent smell of toxic chemicals hanging in the air. But they hadn't yet familiarized themselves with the other smell that was heavy in the air, the smell of death. It wasn't until they stumbled on several barrels lined up in the room, and it wasn't until they opened one that the smell reintroduced itself. This time,
if you're in a really populated area and you're talking about killing people, and then they see you coming and going with big barrels, but if the barrels only ever come in That's a little different, I think.
Right. I'm talking about why would you open one? I mean, you already know. You just know.
Okay, touche. You got me on that one. I have no idea, but I guess they have to.
No, you don't. All the evidence says there's bodies in there. What are you talking
We
about?
ain't even got to check. You already know. We've got 100 barrels and missing 100 kids. But isn't there like due process? Don't we have to open the barrels at some point?
I guess.
Somebody has to open the barrels. Should it have been done in the
Okay,
house?
somebody has to. Yes, I agree.
But it shouldn't have been done in the house.
Oh no. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna tell you a quick little story. Yesterday, I went and got some because we have big old, fire ant mounds
Right.
in the backyard, and I spent all weekend digging a hole, putting my pool up, for the summer, getting ready because here in Texas it's like 80 degrees already.
Right.
So I'm sitting there in the kitchen and I go to open it up. Oh my God, let me tell you. As soon as you peeled the seal, that shit knocked me on my ass. I was like, "Ooh," and then I walk it outside and I go do all that and I come back inside and that smell lingered for like an hour. It was so disgusting. I was like, they should have a warning. Do not open inside or in a small area or something. It was horrible.
One of the most heinous smells I ever came across. I used to work for the slumlord down here, had like 500 properties or something. And so I was maintenance man across all of them. And every now and then you'd have people die in their apartment or their trailer. And we would find out about it like 2 or 3 weeks later. Some person associated with them would show up, or in one case, apparently, the bill stopped being paid. And once the bill stopped being paid, we went by and banged on the door a bunch. And eventually the boss man went in and he stepped in and stepped back out. And we called up everybody we needed to call. The cops came and checked it out. Dude died in his sleep. And once all of that is done, you've still got to clean that place out. But at this point, the power had been off for like 2 weeks. That refrigerator was slammed full of food. I offered to buy my boss a new refrigerator rather than open that damn thing up and try to clean it. Let's just throw it away. Let's tape it up, throw a biohazard sticker on the side of it, and just toss it.
Oh, welcome in, NC Tyrant Hunter, Gen Wow,
Oh, hey, baby. Damn, swinging your big one around. I don't call
Junior
it for nothing.
Sick-a-lot.
Junior Sick-a-lot.
Sick-a-lot.
Don't mind it. You're going to see some of my audience coming in here too.
Oh, you're good.
That's fine.
Woody
That's fine.
Johnson, welcome in.
That's what we're doing. This is the thing that we do. Alcidals, Exidals.
Oh, don't try to read the people coming in his chat. Let him do it because you're gonna get stumbled.
I like stumbling.
Okay, let's get back to the story.
Yeah, sometimes I shoot shots specifically to stumble.
More pronounced. There were chopped up human remains within these barrels. One barrel had a torso. Another had a chopped off leg with an ankle bracelet studded with shiny stones. The gravity of the case had begun to dawn on the journalists. They realized they were dealing with the worst case of serial killing in the history of Pakistan, possibly one of the worst carried out by one man in human history. So the journalists went out of their way to contact the addresses of the boys that Javed Iqbal had extracted from his victims before he brutally killed them. And what they found was chilling. Every address was home to a family looking for a son. This was more than enough for a story. The next day, December 3rd, the front page of the Jang newspaper carried a cold-blooded headline in Urdu: "Claim of murder of 100 kids." Inside the paper was the evidence, the details from the letter, the pictures of 57 confirmed missing boys, and the story of a potential serial killer who was nowhere to be found. This was the story of the century. And as expected, the moment the papers hit the stand, All of Pakistan was scandalized. There was an uproar. The citizens wanted to know how this was allowed to happen in Lahore, Pakistan's second most populated city. The government came under serious pressure internally and internationally. The police were dumbfounded, especially because they had bungled the opportunity to arrest Javed when he was right under their nose. As the search for Javed Iqbal began, 100 mothers mourned the loss of their sons as they cried to anyone who would give them an answer. Who was this monster called Javed Iqbal? Why had he taken their sons? Where was he?
All right. So after he basically turned himself in to everyone, he checks out of his apartment and leaves, leaving all of the body parts behind in various clay vessels and barrels. He apparently paid the rent for like another 2 or 3 months after he left. So he had planned perhaps on coming back, maybe, although everything was squared away in the apartments when the cops showed up. And once the cops showed up and it became public, there's really no reason to go home. Freaking wild. So now we have a
Sorry, I was muted.
yes, free serial killer on the loose out there, just touring Pakistan with his with his association of perfect boy parts, perhaps. We don't know.
Uh-oh.
He kept his favorite parts in barrels. The rest he dissolved in acid.
Ew.
Kiko. Hey, I'm full screen right now.
Very sneaky, sir. Very sneaky, sir.
I did not see that coming. Oh my goodness gracious.
They never see me coming. That's why I use a camouflage condom.
There was a and a horde of desperate parents were identifying the garments that belonged to their sons. The police had gotten this heap from Javed's home, but they still had no idea where the man was. A week before, they had...
You okay, bud? You'll be all right.
That was a good one. Oh my gosh. Oh no, Sasquatch. Oh my goodness gracious.
Very sneaky, sir. It's in groovy. Hell yeah, I need some of that. Damn right.
Hey, business is groovy. What's up, man?
Taken dragnets to a specific lake in Lahore. In the letter from the package, Javed Iqbal claimed he would take his own life by drowning there. But the police and the parents of his victims needed to see his corpse before they believed him. Surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, Javed had lied because the police found nothing. Even after searching every inch of that lake, Javed Iqbal was alive somewhere. So they began one of the most extensive manhunts the country had ever seen. But again, they found nothing. Where was he? They knew he hadn't left the country, so where was he hiding? That question remained unanswered until one night, the 29th of December.
What up?
I'm good. I'm sorry.
You good?
I'm good. Let's go.
You sure?
Oh man.
It kind of sounds like someone's stroking your tickle box.
Okay.
You good? You got this? We'll drop the soap.
1999 to be specific. After a month-long search, a man showed up at the front door of the Jang newspaper. His clothes were torn and dirty. His hair and beard were long and unkempt, and his sandals were worn out. "I am Javed Iqbal," he said, "killer of 100 children." For the next hour, while the police made their way to the newspaper office to take him in, Javed opened up to the journalists about everything, every detail of his crimes, and every detail of his life. Born in 1961 as the sixth of 8 children, Javed had a surprisingly privileged childhood. His father wasn't obscenely wealthy, but they were very rich. Rich enough to own multiple properties, businesses, and land, and rich enough to command the respect of everyone who knew them in their corner of Lahore.
Cation
The only
Randy,
problem with
welcome.
Javed's childhood was that his father spoiled him rotten. Javed was coddled like a prince. When he was in high school, his father brought him a 200cc motorbike and an entire villa for him to live in. He also set up...
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're convinced, every single one of y'all out there are convinced that in this man's backstory, there's a reason, an excuse, some tiny redeeming quality that drove him to do this.
Over the edge.
I don't believe it. He was offended by the police and decided to make them look stupid. He apparently has a virtually endless bank account and is intelligent enough to make it happen, if a bit schizophrenic, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Grease
mean,
monkey.
wow. Grease monkey! Welcome in. Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
In the world of tomorrow.
In a world where Lawless does movie voice.
In a world where a monkey gets greasy.
Wait, what did we do?
Nothing?
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I tried to do something.
It would have been a bad idea. Javed was very much like his father and had a talent for business. The villa and all the luxuries that came with it exposed the teenager to a lethal mix of extreme freedom and extreme affluence that set him on a destructive path. Javed had cravings, the urge for sex that develops in puberty. However, Javed's urge was intense. It was a strong, twisted craving for sex that intertwined with his growing sense of entitlement and the endless resources his father had given him. And to make matters a little more complicated for him,
welcome in, bud.
He was gay. Gay in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Gay in a conservative family and in a conservative society that viewed his homosexuality as a disease that needed to be cured. Ordinarily, Javed's...
I just had a thought. What would happen if you had two movie guy voices arguing with each other? Like, you do the one that's like...
I don't know, just put me in the middle. Sorry.
His urges were stifled and repressed. He would have to constantly look over his shoulder in fear as he sought to find a partner to experiment with. But you must remember that Javed was extraordinarily spoiled, and his rotten upbringing meant that he didn't feel like anything was out of reach for him.
It's okay, girl. You can be my doorknob. I'll let everybody take a turn. Something cool. Welcome in, bud. Good to see you.
To make matters a little more complicated, Javed also had a mean streak in him. He was deeply manipulative. So in his quest for sex, he resorted to devious tactics that involved baiting and coercing his schoolmates into sleeping with him. It got so bad that at one point, his mates nicknamed him the
What's
boy.
up, YouTube police?
Everybody scram. It's the fuzz.
Go!
Oh, sizzle. Sizzle be whizzle.
Javed would pack his villa with boys his age and younger, all teenagers, some schoolmates, some strangers. I mean, he was a 17-year-old who had a villa and a 200cc motorbike, all to himself. Even if the impressionable teens weren't interested in having sex with him, they most definitely wanted to be around him. To them, he must have been like a god, a rock star, moonlighting as a student. But Javed's appetite for sex was endless.
But at this point, we do have a participation trophy. I'm not touching it.
Scores of boys he had around him weren't enough. In fact, judging by the way he treated them, they were just there, on display for his pleasure. What Javed loved was the thrill of the hunt. He got using his devious tactics. His favorite method involved writing letters to pen pals who he met via magazines. Innocent, unassuming teenagers just looking for a friend. Javed would build trust with these pen pals and then request their pictures. After this, he would create a short list of the most attractive boys, who he would shower with gifts and money. Eventually, he would get what he wanted. Sex, the most vulnerable and agreeable of the lot. Unsurprisingly, this obsession with sex became a problem in his family. Their obvious concern was the fact that he was gay. It was a sin in Islam, their religion, a crime in the state, and a taboo in society. They were convinced they had to stop Javed and cure him before it was too late. Surprisingly, Javed's father didn't share their perspective or concerns about his son. In fact, he went out of his way to shield Javed from his family and refused to allow them to interfere with his life. Unsurprisingly, Javed saw his father's protection as a badge of approval and proceeded to immerse himself more in his depraved craze for sex. This would continue into Javed's adulthood. As you already know, Javed's...
So perhaps he would fall into a monster by design category.
Can't spell. Can't spell Lou.
He seems to have pretty well planned it all to develop into this creature.
I got a general question for you. Do you ever get like warned or striked or anything like that for the language or in these videos or no?
My channel is
holy crap. You're not monetized, huh?
Well, I'm not monetized, but my channel is 18 plus.
Ooh.
So anyone showing my channel to kids should probably have a jacket opened on them down at the local police department. Go look at some of the jokes, some of my early jokes, and you'll know why I'm 18 plus.
It's my first time restreaming. That's why it's my first time restreaming, so I'm taking a chance.
Oh, never restream on a Caucasian stream. You're crazy.
I'm going to go ahead and private it out right afterwards. Huh?
That might not be.
Well, you just can't monetize it, right? I mean,
it kind of depends.
Can't he still keep it up, but he just not monetize it?
Depends on how far down the AdSense path he has gone.
Oh,
exactly.
If he's far enough down the dark side, it's kind of a irrecoverable sort of thing. So if he's pulling down actual paychecks off of the AdSense specifically, then it just private it as soon as you're done. It shouldn't be an issue because your live streams are typically your own, like your thing, whatever you're doing. That's the product of your live streams because you're an IRL streamer. Right. So if sitting in here watching this is one of the things you do, that's an IRL point. So I do a lot to try to make sure everything is what's the term? Fair use. Like neither of y'all have actually seen it. It's an honest review. I stop the video regularly. We discuss various things about the video. It's topical.
You're fine with
you know what I'm saying? I'm totally doing as much as I can.
I'm just wondering with the lingo, you know, because I hear certain words like the SEX and other stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube or not. I don't know.
Part of that depends on how you have your channel set. If you're set for children, then you probably shouldn't be here at all. To be honest, you probably
I don't even know how it's set to children. I don't even know how to do that, so I don't think it's set to children. Regardless.
Okay, so it's probably just normal. This should be fine. The only issue you might have if you're monetized, like I said, if you're far enough down the dark path, you might have picked up a sponsor or two. And if you've been picked up by specific advertisers, then specific advertisers might have issues with specific things. So
that's a good question. And I don't know how to figure that out.
I've talked to a whole bunch of monetized channels that none of them can give me a straight answer on any of it. And I think it's because YouTube specifically keeps people in the dark. And as soon as people start putting together what's going on, they change stuff. And I think that is intentionally to keep us in this YouTube slave class that we've been occupying.
Basically.
Yeah. Because think about it. The more effort you put forth, you don't get more production value. You don't get more subscribers. You don't get more of anything for more effort, except for the self-satisfaction of having done a better job.
Yeah.
That's why I say I'm here to try to help creators make better content easier, because you don't want to make more. That's just more work. Nobody wants to work. I quit that work shit years ago. It was way too much like work.
You
know?
I hear it. All right. Well,
Sexual partners didn't mature.
Yeah, I mean, it's all an experiment, man. They give us these tools, we use them the way we can, and I have like different formats and stuff for this kind of. Damn it, do right. Different formats for this kind of stuff, and it's all of it grades a little different. Like last night, I did for some production work for Midlife Pro Logic, and that thing got blocked from 100 different angles. Like there were copyright claims all over that thing, dude. All over, everywhere. It was blocked in Russia. It's blocked in Argentina. It's blocked in Mexico.
Which one?
The live stream I did last night with Midlife Pro Logic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It yeah. I think it's that final reel that he plays. I think that edited together song mix that he does, I think that's all of the songs are copyrighted all over the place. Maybe he has permission to use them, but it lit me up like a Christmas tree. I hadn't got an email like that in a while because I specifically do things that aren't copyrightable if possible.
With him. In his early 20s, Javed.
That's hold on. Do I not have the names up? No, I don't. My bad.
No.
I'm a moron. You know how it be. Where's all my controls for that stuff? It's way over here, isn't it? I didn't even say it right.
Mike is there. What's up, Big Mike? Big Mike.
Lawless World TV. That's right. Just making sure it was actually up there right. I don't have any mods in my chat right now. I totally be like, Snark and Sass could drop the link, I guess. Like nobody showed up. This is wild. Anyway, murderers.
What's up, Big Mike? Got it.
Targeting teenagers and preteens. Javed wasn't just a queer individual trying to be himself in a conservative society. He was an oppressor, a predator whose obsession had matured into a cancer that was about to cause one of the most devastating and controversial events in Pakistan's history. Javed's father might have begun to see the problems during this period, especially because his beloved son showed no signs of settling down. And when the old man tried to initiate the conversation, the young man resisted. He had no intention of marrying a woman. So for the first time, Javed's father joined his family against his son. When the pressure to get married was intense enough, Javed searched for a compromise and found it. He said yes to one of the brides his family proposed to him. A wedding was scheduled, and in 1983, at the age of 22, Javed Iqbal got married. Big mistake. Unknown to his family, the only reason he agreed to marry this woman was because he was sodomizing her underage brother. And
good Lord, right? That was unexpected.
Like I said it at the beginning, there is nothing good in this video. There is no point in this video where you're going to be like, oh, well, that's good. Nothing like that. I'm gonna get through this.
I don't know if my audience is used to this too. Yeah, I just heard sodomize. Like, oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Ooh, oh my.
Oh no, this is definitely on the other side of the tracks for your
oh yes. Hey, what's on YouTube, please?
I mean, there's a huge difference between a Sasquatch Shills and a Chilling with Sasquatch. Sasquatch Shills is solid safe. Like I don't put nothing in there that might be spooky.
I'm learning today.
You know, but Chilling with Sasquatch, like I said, it's kind of whatever I was going to watch next. And I watched about 2 minutes of this, and I sat there and thought about it real hard. I was finally like, you know what? No, I'm going to watch it. Because monsters like this exist and they look just like your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like nobody considers the fact that that nice old man down the street might have 37 bodies in his basement.
Yeah.
Oklahoma said, hey, Caucasian.
Hello, Oklahoma. Welcome in, bud. Good to see you. Does that make me an honorary Cajun? Or is that
I don't
know. I don't know how that works.
I like that name.
Yeah. By the way, YouTube Police is YouTube Police.
I like that name.
Go to one of his live streams. Go check him out. You'll love him. I'm not going to blow the surprise, but he's tons of fun. Him and Double D. Baki. Oh no, that's half of my sister's imaginary friend.
Bookie.
Oh, Bookie. Her imaginary friend's name was Iki Baki.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's awesome.
I suspect he may have been a dark horror.
As some family members would later recount to the investigators, the boy was the only reason he gave the marriage a chance. By now, the family was becoming aware of who Javed had become. They were trying to maintain the family image.
Hey, Lawless, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between a Ferrari and a pile of dead bodies?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I do not have a Ferrari in my garage.
Unfortunately, that illusion was shattered when, 2 months after the wedding, the marriage was dissolved. Not long after, Javed would get married once again to the youngest sister of one of his boys. And just for context, girls as young as 14 were married off at the time in Pakistan. So you can make a safe guess that the boy in question was also underage. This marriage didn't last either. After his second marriage failed, Javed's father stopped trying, and his family gave up on him entirely. This was exactly what Javed wanted. Now, he was free. For the next 7 years, the predator sought out and assaulted young boys with impunity. All the while, his family, fully aware, did nothing. And even the community became aware of what he was, but they also did nothing. If you ask me,
I'm just so confused by that question. You're gonna give that the participation trophy.
Jim State. Right when I saw it, I cracked up too.
I am unaware of any anacondas in this video at all. I might be wrong, but
oh my goodness.
So. Maybe. Oh Lord. Lorky.
I would say the reason the community turned a blind eye was because most of the victims were homeless orphans or runaways who slept on the street and who nobody cared for. It wasn't until 1990 that Javed's depravity flung itself on the doorstep of one of the most respected members in the community. Javed had sodomized the 9-year-old son of a respected member of his own community. When the man found out, he immediately filed a complaint against Javed with the police. This was a case that should have been taken seriously, and in the beginning it
just can't remember. Dude, have you heard that man's voice?
Who?
It's deeper than mine.
Thomas Vetter.
Yes, I have actually a video of him singing me a song.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, he serenaded me, baby. Woo-hoo.
Nothing on that, man. Like, I got some nice tones, but that man will rattle the teeth in the back of your skull. He'll start singing and make the freaking rocks in the hills rattle. Sit there and vibrate with him. That shit's madness, dude. And you'd figure he'd be like 7'3" or something with a voice like that. Swears he's not a big guy. He swears he's not a big guy. But okay, whatever. Sure, you're not. I bet the rest of your family's huge too, and you just think you're small.
It was.
Hello, Oklahoma. How you doing today, bud?
Oklahoma, great to see you.
I appreciate a Gem State jewelry box has still got me tickled with that shit. No, not anacondas. I don't think. I mean, maybe some cobras.
Now, the police were aware of this sick individual. Now he would be taken out of society and locked in a cage, right? When the police arrived at Javed's house to arrest him, he wasn't home. So they did the next best thing. They arrested his father and 2 brothers,
that makes
holding them as collateral until Javed turned himself in.
Wow.
Damn.
Pakistan is a very different country.
That sucks to be home at that day. Dang.
Right? You do nothing wrong. We are holding you till your son comes back. That kid? Oh,
What?
you'll never see him again.
Are you sick? I just took the day off for work today. What are you talking about?
I'm not even supposed to be here today. Meanwhile, they're just beating him down in the cell out back because they don't know if he's arrested for a reason or a crime or just as a hostage. That's basically holding him hostage, right?
Right. For ransom.
Basically.
This wasn't exactly in line with the law. The police were bending the rules here, but they wanted Javed and they were prepared to do anything to get him. Now, you would imagine that Javed, hearing his loving father and innocent brothers had been arrested on his behalf, would immediately rush to the station to give himself up. You would think he would do the right thing. And
no, I don't. Not at all. I mean, from what I've heard about this guy, he's fairly renowned for not doing the right thing. I mean, I don't see it. I don't. Okay.
You would be wrong. Because believe it or not, Javed's father and brothers spent 7 days behind bars. Javed simply refused to give himself up. On the 8th day of his father's incarceration, the frustrated policemen switched techniques and raided his villa once again. This time, they arrested and detained one of his teenage boys. Remember the young boys who he had brainwashed to help him carry out the crimes? When Javed returned to his villa and found his boy was missing, he fought with family members who were there during the second raid for doing nothing to stop the police from arresting his boy. A few hours later, Javed turned himself into the police and secured the release of the boy. Then he bribed the police and the parents of the assaulted 9-year-old, and that was that. The case was brushed under the carpet, and Javed was a free man. And just like a pig fresh out of a bathhouse, Javed headed back to his sty.
You know how it is. Sometimes you just have to scream across a house to get someone's attention, just for a little bit of coffee, some small amount of stimulant. Hey, it's Crystal's Adventure. Welcome in, bud.
Crystal's
357 beats. Wait, I always say that wrong. 357 sig beats 9mm. Bam. There it is.
I like how you did that, Sasquatch. Hey, it's Crystal's Adventure.
I don't get it.
Now y'all good friends and everything.
Yeah. We are good friends. I mean, why not? I got time.
That's right.
I absolutely have nothing better to do than be friendly. Sometimes, if you know you're real cuddly like Lawless up there, I might even get real friendly.
Cuddly.
Yeah, you're so cuddly.
And dove headfirst into the mud and sludge of his perversion.
Just want to lay in your
It didn't
hair.
take long for him to get caught again. This time, he sodomized the son of a man as rich as his father. And this time, his arrest led to a conviction that saw him spend 6
I'm gonna be honest, man. They keep making references to how much money these people have, and I don't think that should matter.
I know.
It seems to be a very significant thing, and I don't think it should matter. We have let's see, that's Ajod at the bottom, Lawless at the top, and I'm Caucasian Sasquatch. And it's actually my stream, but I'm masquerading as his stream because he's way cooler than I am, right?
Nah.
The thing is, 2 of us are on panel, are actually on camera, and the bottom one's not. So if something's going to get covered, it should be the one that's not on cam. That's the way I feel about it.
Thank you for asking, Crystal. She'll probably want to connect with everybody here.
I'm aroused.
6 months. 6 months later, he was out and back to the only life he knew. However, he had learned something. He realized that if he was going to avoid future issues with the police, he would have to build something of a relationship with them through manipulative means. His method of achieving this was by lodging flimsy complaints with them every other day and visiting the station just as frequently. Soon enough, the police knew him well. And soon enough, They didn't want to. In the meantime, Javed was accused of taking sexual advantage of 2 boys at gunpoint. And this time, the elders in his neighborhood.
It's the first mention of a weapon at all that I've heard in this entire video. This whole nightmare of shit that's been going on, I have yet to hear. This is the very first reference I've heard of him using a weapon or tool for that matter.
Really?
Decided to take matters into their own hands. Their proposed punishment.
Oh, YouTube police, baby. This is one of mine. If you want to come up here and have a chit chat, I'm not adverse to it.
Ooh.
I
could have came up there that way.
Well, I mean, he attempted to be a guest, but we got our times all messed up. It was supposed to happen. Like,
I just checked my email today. I saw you live, and I was like, let me check my email, and I saw. I was like,
I actually sent out a whole bunch of them to people I haven't sent them to in a while, specifically, starting kind of at the bottom of the list of people that haven't responded. You know. Oh yeah. You ironically, I think you were the last one I sent a link to because I was scrolling back up through my list.
Makes sense. My last name is Rock. Well, I can say my last name, but it ends with one of the last characters, so it makes sense.
So, what's up, YouTube police?
Oh, not much. Same old, same old. Just thought I'd come up and say, hey, see how y'all doing.
We're doing. We're looking into a Pakistani serial killer who killed 100 kids, young boys specifically.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's harsh. It's really harsh. It is. But our later videos are going to be a little bit better. They shouldn't be quite as rough. This was hard to get through. I've spent more time paused than I do watching it because every time I turned it on, I just get depressed.
I understand. I've actually done a lot of. At one point, I was looking at a lot of stuff on serial killers. It astounds me that there can be that much of people out there without a lack of a conscience. It's sad.
I thought you were gonna say it stuns you that there's a lot of people out there that don't get caught. It stuns me that there's a lot of people that don't get caught, but I'm guess I've been living under a rock and not everybody gets caught.
Well, I think it's fair to say that most people have a tendency to look at other people as they are, and so if you feel like a lot of that is not seen, it's probably because you're not that type of person. Well, I don't know. Maybe
I've got some statistics for you if you're interested. 82% of crimes are unsolved. Something like 90% of murders are unsolved in the first 6 months.
Oh.
Because most murders take place with premeditation, and so quite often it's not even realized it's a murder until later.
Yeah.
So,
well, crime statistics are something I have been interested in from time to time. Believe it or not, although lately most of what I've been interested in is more of live streaming and gardening and that type of thing. It's not been something I've looked into here a whole lot later. I have a tendency to pay attention to something until I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on it. Then I move on to something else I'm interested in.
Right. I've spent the last, I think, 2 weeks studying up on the shorts live stream thing.
How's that been going?
Oh, snap. We got the police. Sorry.
Hey, John.
What's up?
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm kind of curious about it. I've noticed I've got a bunch of previous guests, and a lot of times they'll let me look at their back end just so I can have the data to be able to like crunch some of these numbers, look for the patterns and whatnot. In this case, the only person I know that has regularly done this type of a live stream over time is Untethered Live, and his his chat interaction has skyrocketed on one particular live stream he does a week, and it's his Wednesday night live stream. I went back and looked, and he has not missed a Wednesday night live stream in something like 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the algorithm is at least on the shorts live feed, it calculates weekly, right? And so you have to keep doing it for it to have the effect. But your first live stream that you do in the shorts feed will get the full effect. All right out the box. I got 1,000. According to YouTube, when I came off live, I had 6,000 views. When I woke up the next morning, it said 600.
The first one?
The very first one. It hasn't done that since. That very first one, it went weird.
Mine stayed the same.
I don't know what to make of it. I have no clue. Welcome in, Embers.
Okay.
Which freaking
Tell us
channel?
the story.
Not yet. We're 3/4 of the way through it, I suppose.
Okay, what now? What about my channel? Huh?
You come in as Barbie Sasquatch, but none of your channels are that.
No.
Okay.
I know that. That like literally occurred to me about a week ago. When I was like, I couldn't get shit to work in StreamYard for one specific one. I was like, why is this not? Oh, that's why.
Squatch, are you going in the upright live stream right now?
Not right now.
Okay.
The reason I didn't do it tonight is the last time I was doing it, trying to get back into the horizontal layout was a big pain in the butt, because each time I use OBS to do the cool stuff that you see around me.
Yeah.
And every time you change OBS, if you do it in the wrong way, it stretches your StreamYard picture, and you have to figure out how to undo it like a freaking invisible Rubik's Cube. And once I got it fixed, I just kind of went, okay. we're gonna make sure we have time to deal with that next time.
All right. It just kind of looks like your format is the
It's normal.
Okay.
I know, right? It looks like it's a portrait.
Yeah, it does.
I am in portrait on my camera.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But I have the OBS like this, right? It's out here. This
The
is all
stream
green
is
screen
regular.
action.
Hey.
And then stream itself is in regular cinematic or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So we're not in the shorts feed right now.
So how do your arms disappear?
Because it's green screen and my camera's in
Yeah, but your
shorts
arms are
mode.
not green.
I know, they're off the frame of the camera.
Oh,
my camera.
Sorry.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Really started. Oh my.
I'm so slow. Okay. That was me last week with my green suit, trying to show them my green suit with the green screen mode on.
she kept turning the camera like that was gonna go, but the green screen's not behind me. It doesn't matter. It's the same color.
I was like, what are you talking about? Why can't you see it? They're like, because of the green screen. I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah. No, I went through it 4 times and then I just started drinking.
Well,
I figured it out.
Outlaw. What's up, Outlaw?
I guess I'm still
Thanks,
curious about,
Thomas.
and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be distracting. I'm just curious as all get out about the because I mean, I can set my camera to where it seems like more of a profile, the phone thing. That's what I just did to mine, just so that I can,
Right.
But I don't know how that.
No, you can't set this stream to portrait. That is the channel creator. So when you start your next stream, you pay for StreamYard, right?
I do.
Okay. Go to the general settings, and you'll have a portrait mode thing. Once you click that and create the studio for it, your camera will probably be all screwed up. So you'll have to close it out and then come back in to let it reread your camera and put it in the right frame.
Rose.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, I know that there's all those settings for your camera under the cam settings, and you are able to go through it. And I'm sorry, I'm distracting.
Sure,
I know.
sure. No. You shouldn't have to mess with those, because when you click it to portrait mode, leave and come back in, it should automatically detect and set it the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Right. And I want to reiterate something. One of y'all just added a channel. This is a very rough video I'm watching. It says lots of really sketchy words. I'm sorry I didn't warn you, Lawless. I didn't think about it. Talking to you. It's a pretty rough video, and it doesn't show anything bad. It just suggests a lot and uses very poignant language.
So polarizing. So just
it's intended to make an emotional impact.
Oh yeah, evoke emotion for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does. What's up, Lucky Laptop? Welcome in, bud.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Barbie. Hello.
Hey.
All right.
Any other questions?
I love his voice.
Thank you.
I'm sure they'll pop in my head, but I don't want to distract from everything going on.
There's a private chat. You can pop them in over there. And if I feel like I need to stop it to explain it, I will. See, the cool part about this is it's my show. So if you got a question, we can totally bust that shit up. I don't have an issue with it.
I appreciate it. I mean, I see it now, portrait setting.
Right. But yeah, when you have to do that before everything starts, I think if you try it after everything. Actually, I have no idea what it would do if I clicked it now.
Oh, you know what? Okay, let me do it. I'll do it. I'll test that for you.
It shouldn't do anything on your end, bro.
Oh, nice.
At all.
It shouldn't do nothing on mine.
It'll just probably kick you out.
Let me do it.
Show your breakfast.
Might stretch your picture or something. I'm not sure.
I don't think it's going to let me do that right now.
It should. I mean,
I don't think it's going to.
I should have control over that part of it, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
The language.
Right. Oh, baby.
Like this.
Well, I always like trying to figure out new things, and I know that you're always on the cutting edge of a lot of stuff.
I try, man. I try. Sometimes it just gets really depressing screwing with it, because first stream in that setup, 1,000 views, something like 22 subscribers. The second one I got 600 views, 10 subscribers. The third one I got 300 views and 4 subscribers. The last one, I think I got 65 views on it while I was live or something. I can't remember. I have to check. But it seems to half each time until you catch your own grip. I was thinking, because most of my content is shorts in the first place, that I would be more likely to encounter people that were already subscribed to me. And maybe it worked the first time. I don't know, but it didn't seem to have a staying power, at least not algorithmically.
Algorithms leaning more towards the other view.
Right. Well, with Untethered Live, he's only got I think he had 300 subscribers when he started doing it, but he's hit that Wednesday every week. Most of his chats are perfectly normal, but that Wednesday, every troll with a pulse comes rolling in to come try to
because their grandmas are at church and they can do whatever they want on the Wi-Fi until she gets home. That's what it is.
Because it doesn't matter. It's like clockwork. It doesn't make sense.
It's not a cell phone, baby. They don't have to wait for that grandmama to leave, you old biddy. What are you talking about?
Come on, they ain't paying a cell phone bill with the data. They're on grandma's Wi-Fi. Quit playing.
So?
And she's not giving up the password. She be changing it. She's a stingy old bitch.
She is. Good Lord. Y'all are hard to deal with. Like herding cats. I swear to God.
I'm about to start trying myself, though.
All right.
By the way,
all right.
Javed was brought before a council where he confessed to his crime. Then he signed a document where he promised never to touch another boy again. Photocopies were distributed across the area. Then Javed was forced to visit 100 shops in the main market in their neighborhood where he apologized for his crime. But you cannot shame the shameless, can you? Really, this was nothing but a ridiculously civil punishment for a ridiculously vile crime. Ideally, Javed should have been either thrown into prison for life or been permanently exiled from the neighborhood, but he wasn't. And I personally suspect it was because of the status of his father in the community. No one wanted to...
Hold on, Lawless. Yeah. Don't you smoke weed on your channel? What the fuck are you talking about some damn language? Man, fucking screw you. Why are you fucking with me? What's up?
I don't use the language though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you. All right, but we're just gonna hot.
He tries to do the thing you do, you know, where you go to the right or go to the left, you know, so you're not seeing.
Look down, come back.
Yeah. I don't know about that, dude. I'm pretty sure I saw you squat rip a bong on your channel the other day. I'm almost positive. I am positive because I was clapping. Thought it was
fun. Brandon Mitchell, OPD Princess, Big Chief. What's going on, y'all?
They're having their own little conversation while this happens. It's kind of disturbing. You know, it means there's other people in the world other than us. Isn't that weird?
What?
Wait, you guys are real?
What do you mean?
I thought you guys were the voices in my head.
They're chatting.
Shit.
What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna have to take those meds again.
Yeah, gotta get you back in jail, girl. Straighten you right out.
I don't think so. I was just at the courthouse today. I'm good. I checked in. Everything is good.
Nice.
What is Barbie's channel name?
Ember's Mad World.
Oh, I think I've actually.
You're already subscribed, I think.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation before. What's up, Scotty Waddles? Welcome in, bud.
Hey, Em.
Missed anyone in chat recently? Celeste.
I don't
Brandon
know.
Mitchell. Big Chief.
Yeah, I'm about to get Brandon Mitchell.
I like her names.
He is not. I do too. That's pretty.
That name.
Celeste Rose.
Yeah,
I know, right? I love that name.
I like it.
Rose is my granddaughter's middle name.
Kevin Cox. I like that name.
All right, let's get through this horrible video, and then we can like never think about it again. All right.
Sure, like that's gonna happen.
Right. Enjoy.
To offend the old man by heaping more disgrace on top of the shame his son had already brought to his family. But if that was the case, then goodwill was about to expire, because not long after, Javed's father passed away. And true to form, despite the fact that Javed had been the bane of his existence while he was alive, the old man left him a sizable portion of his estate, about 3.5 million rupees. Javed immediately began to spend big. He built a large house in Rana Town in Lahore. There was a pond, a basement, a swimming pool in the backyard. It was luxury.
Damn it, Thomas. So glad Anus untouched.
Then you better maintain that not dropping the soap.
Good luck.
I might wait till Tuesday to make that comment. Just
you know they're going deep, boy.
We'll start a GoFundMe for the preparation age. You're gonna need it.
Luxurious.
It's just miraculous.
He also splurged on cars. 4 of them. A 5-door Pajero, a Lancer, a Toyota, and a Suzuki FX. The Pajero was his favorite, and he was often seen in it, driving around town with the boys he molested. Javed was as business savvy as his father, just in a more manipulative way. Because despite the fact that Javed seemed spendthrift, it was strategic. Every item, gadget, property, and vehicle he bought served the purpose of furthering his perversion. Soon enough, Javed came up with the diabolical idea to create a video game store, the first of its kind in the area. He sold his house, Move to a less luxurious residence. Focus on the
Hold on, I'm going to tell you what Snarky Sass told me. It's because I'm a wizard, Harry. That's why.
So this is going over like everything he did pre-killing. Is that correct?
Right. We've well, no. At this
The
point,
part of the story they're telling now, or is this after?
keep in mind that at this point he has already assaulted thousands of kids and young boys specifically. And at the point in time that he confessed to his killings, which is a bit later in his life than we're at right yet. But I see no reason to think he had not already started. How many times are you going to be able to assault a person, just random people in the street, and them not reacting in a way that requires that you silence them immediately?
He was sodomizing the wife's kid, the little brother. So I mean,
I think it is almost certain that he had probably took a body before his 17th birthday, right around the time he got that villa. He got the motorbike, he probably became a multi-killer, at least, if not a full-on serial killer. By the time he's moved into the dead-end street over there, he has perfected a method of his desires. He doesn't want to just kill kids. He wants to collect specific body parts from kids. That is an advanced stage of this madness. This is not something you wake up on a Tuesday and be like, oh, I'm going to cut pieces off of little kids and build a perfect boy. This is a madness that has progressed to this point.
this is in India, right?
Pakistan.
Okay,
Close.
because he said rupees. So I thought, because I was like, rupees, that's they got rupees in India too. That's why I was confused.
Apparently, wherever they're at, having buku money makes you virtually immune to the cops.
The government is super corrupt.
He had been accused, if not charged, with all sorts of nefarious crap.
And you just buy them off.
There's no record to what actually happened. All we know is that the locals all knew he was crooked, but the cops never did anything about it. Even when they requested, when they gave them addresses, when they gave them descriptions, when they said their kids were missing, because he filled his villa with guys that were all younger than he was, most of which were homeless. God knows what was going on in that place. I mean, a regular Sodom and Gomorrah. You don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
Hey, Barbie, you can answer this one. Does dropping the soap work different for women in prison?
I don't know. I don't drop the soap. And chicks tend to not really want to talk to me when I'm in jail.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Unless it's snack day, they don't talk to me.
Are we throwing spaghetti at the wall? I don't understand the spaghetti question. Why does spaghetti keep coming up?
It's inside
Spaghetti up, spaghetti down.
Ow!
Did I do it right? I don't know.
Yes, you did. You did
Okay.
exactly right. Yes, you did.
So we're not throwing the spaghetti at the wall. No, you can put it up. We're not throwing spaghetti at the wall.
We don't? Well, I mean, I don't. That's not how I check my noodles. I'm going to start checking my noodles like that.
I always threw my noodles on the ceiling. My mom hated it because she was short. I could just reach up and pull it off.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, we wouldn't. Yeah, that wasn't flying right.
She would go out of town for like a week or two, but she'd come back. There'd be 5 or 6 spaghetti noodles on the ceiling. It'd be like a shell, a couple of elbows.
Getting crusty.
So my 8-year-old son brought home this little piggy, but it was like a little sticky piggy.
Wait, hold on. We're going to need more information about your little pig.
No, but anyway. So
no, I need to know because
it's a little sticky piggy. Okay, so
it's a real
I come into
a guinea pig. No, porcupine.
And I look up, and it's stuck to the ceiling. I'm like, well, how in the hell did you put that piggy up there? But because it's a
What?
sticky piggy, he threw it up there and it got stuck.
Now, is that a real pig? Is that a guinea pig? Is it a real, pork, pig that has bacon?
No, it's a sticky piggy.
Like those little the quarter machine sticky pigs.
I
Those
guess, but
sticky
you remember
pigs.
the
You know what I'm talking
sticky
about? They're like
hands that we used to have
yes,
to
that's what
get
I'm
out of
talking
the
about.
quarter. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that consistency. Yes, but it was a pig.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I love those things.
Spaghetti up, down,
You just
down.
wait till someone's not looking and you.
I've
Spaghetti
completely
up.
lost control.
What does that mean?
That's Lawless's chat is just been
Lawless, you got to tell him the whole little story.
All right,
'cause
hold on.
they're
Let's
just-
do this
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I don't know.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
Gosh, darn it. All right, it's a dance. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to break out a dance for all y'all. Thanks, Beth. All right, here we go. So it's supposed to be spaghetti up, spaghetti down, down, spaghetti up, spaghetti down, down.
Spaghetti up,
Okay,
up,
spaghetti up,
down,
up,
down.
down, down.
Yeah,
Spaghetti
see?
up,
There you
up,
go.
I know
spaghetti
the little
down,
C
down.
right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Where
Here we go.
is the
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I can die happy now.
That was beautiful.
I thought he did it really well, although I don't know what it means.
It's
Nothing.
inside thing, you know. Oh my gosh! Now
I just sit around and do that sometimes. Like
Beth Beltran.
Yes,
What we
Beth
got?
Beltran.
ABCM channel.
ABCM.
Cool.
You can see a lot of different people pop in and out.
ABCM.
Don't forget to like,
Thomas
comment.
said you do it better than that.
Oh no! Don't you start.
You gotta get this man smoked up real good, and he'll dance all kinds of dance. His private streams. He's got a few of them that he took down because he wasn't proud of the things that he did.
Right.
Hey, when I was a young man, I used to love dancing myself, but I'm an old man now, so
Spaghetti up, spaghetti down, down.
Oh my
Yes,
God!
she did better than I did.
I bet you could get down, YouTube police. I bet you get down the groove.
No.
No.
Stuck up.
I've seen him twerk.
That.
I have seen this man twerk. Y'all cannot tell
yes.
me he's fun.
He's
Oh, we're gonna
twerked and
see
he's
that.
had my fire flame boxers on. Yes, sir.
I tell you what,
Why do I miss all the good stuff?
I'll share something. If Squatch don't mind.
Oh wait, hold on. Is it that video?
It's this video. It's gotten me doing some dancing in it. I could do the twerking thing if you want me to share it.
What?
Oh my.
No, save that for your.
Yo, got me interested now.
Hey, you can email me that and I would gladly, put it somewhere.
We're gonna need that.
Y'all do realize this shit ain't a democracy. It never was.
I know. I
Where
just
is
do what
But dude, hey, share whatever you like. I'll check it out. I'll take a look.
All
at
right.
it.
Well,
you already got it back there.
I got it pulled up.
Is there any information on that screen? Okay, I got you. Look at it.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Hang on. I think I got muted. There we go. And it's
Google Pop a Belt Loop is going to be on the Belt Loop 29 channel. We're going to be throwing stacks of wax and slamming some dad gum. Okay, mamas and daddies, unwind your minds and rethread your heads. Hey, Google. It's going to be on the Belt Loop 29 channel. We're going to be.
But
save it for the fans only.
And let's see.
I have Batman pajamas.
All right. Let me see if I've got my. Hang on, I'll have to find it.
Just let me know when you get there, bud.
All right.
Brandon Mitchell says your democracy blows.
It ain't my democracy. I told you, this shit ain't a democracy. This is squash
It's a dictatorship. Yeah.
That's right.
It blows when I tell it to.
Hang on. Let's see here. No, that ain't it. That ain't my video. Them twerking. Other people be twerking and no.
Unsurprisingly, it became a hit in the neighborhood. Word spread to neighboring communities, and soon, hundreds of boys had become loyal customers of his game shop. But you already know what this was all about. Javed would offer them tokens at reduced rates and sometimes allow them to play for free. Then, he would deliberately drop money on the floor and hide, waiting and watching for who would pick it up.
You gotta be faster than that.
I know.
Snatch it out right before they get it. Wait, hold on. I get the impression this guy was literally putting a box with a stick and some money under it.
Yeah, and he was snatching them up when they get it.
Oh, this is terrible. I hate this video.
Oh, that's awesome. CP, that's awesome. My bad, y'all. Sorry.
Once the money had been stolen, he'd announce the theft and order everyone to be searched. Of course, the thief would be caught. Then, Javed would take the culprit to a separate room where he sought him.
Hold on. I think we've all seen this before, right? Have you ever seen the shoplifters porn channel over there where they supposedly catching the shoplifters?
No.
What?
I can't remember the name of the freaking channel. There's a particular channel. It's all the people you're familiar with in the whole prawn industry, right? But these chicks are brought in, they pretend to shoplift, and then they're taken to the backroom casting couch where they have a choice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you've seen it? Guilty.
No, I haven't seen it, but it just sounds like something that could be fathomable. It's like
well, no, I mean, these are actual actresses. None of them are actually shoplifting. All of this is signed in a public.
But here's the thing: the reason why it's even on those sites in a category is because it's a thing for people. It's a thing, you know. Like
not these. They're just videos. They're just like when the people show up and they do the casting couch bit, except in this case, they do a edit between the front shop, which is just some random store, and the back room. They're not even in the same building. This is a casting call, and that is them out shopping. It's not even very well edited. It's kind of obvious. Anyway, that went sideways quick.
Poor kid. Deed had been done. Javed would then try to buy his underage victim's silence by offering him the money he stole. But word got around very quickly, and eventually the elders expelled Javed Iqbal from the neighborhood. It gets tiring from here on because despite the fact that you know where this story is going, you silently wish someone would do the right thing and throw him in jail, or better still, end his problematic existence.
You know, in that country, the things that he's doing generally results in someone being launched off of a high place. You got it figured out, bud?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got it. I mean,
oh, yeah. Oh, you just wait.
You know, it's supposed to be twerking, not me. But I'm gonna twerk. Watch.
Oh, look at him getting to take a shot too.
In sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memory night. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight.
That was party after all. It's late night. Late night. That's what I'm talking about.
Where are we going? How long is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, it is. Let me fast forward it to the twerking.
Yeah, that's what we all want to see. Come on, man.
Okay.
Why are you holding out on
Shake
us?
it like a salt
You just-
shaker.
You're over here just teasing us, and we're here for the
I'm
fucking
sorry.
That's the
main
title.
Oh, by the
Okay.
way, all the
Contest
audio on
highlights.
here, all the audio on here is on the YouTube studio. So it's you know it. I mean, it could be played because
Hit
it's
and
not
miss.
It's copyright free.
It's funny, man.
copyright.
Sometimes YouTube stuff gets copyrighted too. I don't
Yep.
even trust them at all.
All right, well,
anymore.
that's
Yep.
It's
Don't make
just
no sense.
There's me. Here we go. Oh, fat boy twerking.
I don't even think I could twerk like that. Like,
I'm just curious. I can't decide if
that's
there's
better
something wrong with
twerking than
you
I
or
can
something
do.
wrong with us for watching. I just don't know.
Hey, I
No,
believe in having fun.
it's
Damn
all
right.
deep down in my
I'm
soul.
with it.
I think there's another spot
That's good
where I'm
stuff.
working on there, but I won't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, y'all go check him out.
I can watch that.
So T-Mac.
It's YouTube Police, and you'll find the rest of his channels if you just hang out over there for a minute, about 30 seconds or so. And it's very interesting. He's got probably a more eclectic a collection of people than I have, and that's saying something.
It really is.
And it's an amazing group of people. They're all actual people. Most of the trolls have been filtered out by super mods that exist in his chat. So it's a fairly good place to go and hang out. I don't have any problem. It's not Flow State.
No.
How many of us have been on you haven't been on Flow State?
I don't know.
I gave him your channel name, and he's probably been watching you, but he doesn't understand why I sent him to you, right? That's what I'm figuring, is he's staring at you going, this doesn't make any sense, because he has this really wide open kind of inclusive panel concept that he's doing. And you have more of a directed fire concept, you know. When you start doing something in a particular topic, all of your stuff is in that topic until you're done with it.
Try to. Hey, I'm scatterbrained.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I'm scatterbrained, and I also have tunnel vision as far as, I tend to be a bit OCD-ish. And so I have trouble focusing on anything until I'm done with something. Once I'm done with it, then I move on.
Right. I'm kind of the same way. So I'm going to do this until we're done with it, and then we're going to move on. All right.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract.
No, we're good. That's what this is all about, man. We're discussing everything that we know and watching videos in the process. And I just really don't want to have to go back over this one later. It's horrible.
It is really sad.
No replays on this one.
I've never heard of this
We're
one
not doing
before.
this again.
But no one did. And Javed moved to a new location in the same city of Lahore, where he continued building businesses with the sole aim of luring in underage children. From an aquarium to a gym to a school that he touted as the first fully air-conditioned.
I mean, I'd love to, Snowfire, but what channel are you in? You're going to have to be specific. Okay, so it's not in Lawless. That's Lawless TV, Lawless World TV. Hold on.
What happened now?
She wants your link.
Got it. I'll pin it. I got it.
Of course she does.
I got it.
You joking? Of course she does.
I just read what you wrote. The guy is always so excited on. Oh my god! I don't know what order you were in.
All right, damn it. We're gonna do it. We're doing it. It's happening. God damn
it. School in the area. Javed just kept having his way. He was a malignant disease that needed to be rooted out. But who was going to do it? What were the police doing through all of this? They knew who this man was. They knew his previous shaming and sentences and what he had done and what he was capable of. So why didn't they throw the scum into a jail cell? I already mentioned how he obnoxiously sucked up to them, and I have mentioned how he bribed them. But considering the number of boys he violated...
Okay, I am contractually obligated to make the following statement. In case no one else here knows, I love hairy nuts.
Yeah. I love hairy nuts.
Get an opportunity to meet that man, make damn sure you shake his hand. It is well worth the trip. We had a ton of fun together. That was awesome.
That's awesome.
Surely he couldn't have bribed every parent and every policeman. You are correct, but there was a problem. Most of the parents that found out didn't go to the police because they didn't want to. The relationship between the people and the police in Pakistan at the time was testy, to put things mildly. No one willingly reported anything to the police. People were scared of them. Corruption was rife, and those who actually reported their crimes were either extorted or treated badly by officers who genuinely didn't give a shit. In Javed's...
Oh, she's talking about YouTube Police. That's the name of his YouTube channel, is YouTube Police.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And he's tons of fun too. It's this one over
I
here.
didn't think it was me.
You may have to look it up by going to YouTube Police 29. No space.
I think I got it too.
Because for some reason I didn't see them before I started the channel or changed the name to that. But once I changed the name to that, I started seeing YouTube Police out the yin yang. So
that's a good point. That's an excellent point, actually. Let's go ahead and cover that one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you plan on starting a YouTube channel that you plan on actually using for, purposes, always do a search before you name the channel and find either a way to name the channel something that hasn't been previously used or just change the name to something that isn't in the search.
There you go.
And make it short. Short's better.
Yep.
Longer it is, the less likely people are to type it in. So if you have a channel named Apple, it'll do well.
Surprisingly, there wasn't anybody else named Belt Loop 29 on there.
That does not surprise me in the least somehow.
But YouTube Police, everybody and their mama's got a channel named YouTube Police.
Well, yeah, because everybody wants to be that super troll that trolls the trolls. But let me tell you a little something about that history. There are old trolls and there are bold trolls, but there are no old, bold trolls. Think about it, man. You get smoked from everywhere. You gonna change your name to Salt Acorn? Why did that come up? There it is.
West Side.
Actually, in the stack of videos I have over here, if we make it that far, I have Acorn Stash. Right before that Assault Acorn stuff, he made his channel. And about 3 weeks ago, it blew the hell up. But he was like, I don't understand what's going on. And I just kept sending him memes of Assault Acorns.
What's up, West Side?
I didn't explain it. I just... Salt Acorn. Assault Acorn.
In this case, his relationship with the police had matured into something mutually beneficial. Javed started a monthly crime magazine where he published the heroics of police officers and established good contacts with the top officials in the department. He even had politician friends. So reporting a man like that to the same police could very easily backfire. Javed was, in a sense, untouchable, and he felt that way until one fateful night in September 1998. On that night, Javed paid for the services of a 15-year-old masseuse. But halfway through their session, Javed molested the teenager. And when he was done, he fell asleep. Desperate for swift revenge, the traumatized teenager invited a friend to join him. And together, they took Javed to the gates of hell with beatings so thorough, his skull was fractured, his jaw was broken, and he slipped into a coma. For 22 days, Javed was unconscious at Lahore General Hospital. During this time, his family helped him settle his mounting hospital bills until he gained consciousness. And even when he gained consciousness, he couldn't walk without assistance for 6 months. But that wasn't the only problem. Javed realized that his family had sold all of his assets to pay for his hospital bills and bail. His house, his cars, his shop, everything he owned had been sold to fund his lengthy recovery in the hospital. No one in his family had spent their own money on him. His life was ruined. He moved in with his aging mother who cared for him. But a few months after he moved in, she suffered a heart attack and passed away. The beating, the loss of his business, and the loss of his parents caused something inside of him to break. Javed needed someone to blame, and that wasn't himself. And after weeks of deep thought, he found what or who he was looking for. He found his target and proceeded to formulate a terrible plan for revenge. My mother cried for me. I wanted 100 mothers to cry for their children. This was one of the many reasons Javed gave to the press for the murders he committed. 100 mothers, 100 boys. In an extremely twisted way, Javed's concept of affection revolved around the material items he showered on the boys he violated. The only thing he felt they owed him was sex. Owed him. As ridiculous as that sounds, this was Javed Iqbal's way of thinking. He believed he loved the boys. Now that a boy that he loved had destroyed his life, and his own deluded belief, caused by the death of his mother, he now hated the boys and wanted to kill enough of them to send a message. Before this plan, the acts he had committed revolved around sexual crimes. He hadn't murdered any of his previous victims. But for 6 months, from June to November of 1999, Javed engaged the services of 3 of his most trusted boys. 17-year-old Sajid Ahmed, 15-year-old Mohammed Nadim, and 13-year-old Mohammed Sabir. Sajid and Nadim were 2 of the boys that lured Ijaz, the masseuse, to Javed's house on 16B Ravi Road. Many of the victims had families. Some were runaways. Some others were just out on errands. And then there were the occasional few that were orphans who had no one to search for them, whom no one even knew they were missing. Of these 100 boys, none was older than 16 and none younger than 6. Javed had every picture of every one of the 100 boys he violated pinned to the walls of his house. And on the 17th of February 2000, as the trial of Javed Iqbal began, those pictures were placed on the desk of the presiding judge.
All right. So what do you think happened to this man? Did they execute him, feed him to the wood chipper? Did they put him in jail for the rest of his life? Did they send him upstate to the farm where your goldfish lives? I mean, what do you reckon?
I would have to think they killed him.
This is Pakistan, right? Threw him from a high spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Wallace?
That's
welcome back.
Or stoning.
What's the question?
I don't know that anything happened. I mean, his father was in, power or what, or in with the whatever.
Yeah, he was in with something, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they kept just running and on to some other freaking community, which just sucks.
I like me
for
some
those
hairy
kids.
nuts.
We all love hairy nuts, right? I just like saying it. It makes
Like
people
hairy
look at
nuts.
me. All right, let's find out what they did to him. Hopefully it's heinous and terrible.
Or stone him, yeah.
I did it to avenge an attempt on my life by my boys, the death of my mother, and injustice in society. This was yet another reason Javed Iqbal gave to the press for the atrocious crimes he committed. That interview with the press, moments before his arrest, was taped, and it became part of the court evidence against him. There were also the letters, the pictures, the clothes of his victims, 86 pairs of the victims' shoes, and images of the body parts they had found in the vats of acid. And when it came to the witnesses, The prosecution produced 105 of them, including 73 members of the missing children's family. They found the owner of the studio where Javed had developed the photographs he took. They even found the rickshaw driver who had helped him transport the vats of acid for disposal during his 6-month murderous bender.
Welcome in, Carrie.
The case against him was so overwhelming. Why on earth was Javed now recanting every confession he had ever made? He was insisting he didn't commit the crimes. I mean, the prosecution had his confession in writing and a videotape recording of him saying he repeatedly did it. The truth is, Javed was an unremorseful animal, a petulant child who never outgrew his indulgent teenage years in the villa with the 200cc bike. Because after pleading not guilty, the petulant predator became a menace in court. He showed no sign of remorse and teased the judge with silly errands, requests for hot meals, and warm sweaters in the middle of trial sessions. It was clear he believed everything was a joke, especially when he claimed that he had staged the killings as a humanitarian effort to highlight the plight of runaway kids. When the prosecution asked him to rationalize the clothes of children found in his house, he said he bought them from a secondhand market. But parents of the missing boys had identified many of these clothes. There were mothers showing stitches that were unique to their style, along with pictures of their missing kids wearing them. Again, the case against Javed was undeniable. There was no doubt that he committed the crimes, but the case had become a global affair, and the international community was watching. Javed knew that nothing illegal could be done to him during the trial. At some point, he even felt he could beat the case. Why? Because the police had bent the law themselves in their bid to bring Javed to justice. During the manhunt, a friend of Javed was taken by the police for interrogation when he suddenly jumped from a third-floor building in the police station to his death. This was the police account of events. When an autopsy was conducted, there were signs that Javed's friend had been tortured. Meanwhile, during one of the proceedings, Javed's lawyer claimed before the open court that someone powerful had approached him to abandon the case. If this was true, there was a conspiracy at play. If it wasn't, Javed's lawyer perjured himself to gain an advantage in court. No one knew what was true or false. However, Javed's lawyer stayed with the case till the end. Another argument for Javed's innocence was why none of his neighbors had said anything when one teenager after another vanished into his house. It was a reasonable argument, but it lacked legs, because if the judge was going to consider the chance that Javed was innocent based on that premise, the defense would have to have had proved that at least one of the missing 100 boys was alive, and they couldn't. And so, after a month of a rigorous trial process, the judge found Javed guilty. He ruled that Javed and his oldest accomplice, the 17-year-old Sajid, were to be hanged at Maniri, Pakistan, the same garden where they lured in most of the boys. And he ordered that their bodies be cut into 100 pieces and dissolved in acid in front of the families of the victims. While this might seem like a fitting sentence to you, it was an emotional sentence that violated Islamic tenets and a couple of human rights laws. The Pakistani government condemned the sentence and deemed it unconstitutional. It was amended, but the death sentence stood. His accomplices were given lengthy sentences, and they were all sent to maximum security prison. But even in a maximum security jail, Javed's bloated sense of worth and entitlement persisted. In fact, his admission of innocence took a religious turn. He told one visiting journalist that he was chosen by God for a special purpose. He told another that he intended to appeal his case and that he had NGOs lining up to defend him, which was not exactly true. Whatever was going on through his evil skull would eventually come to a screeching halt a year after his conviction. Javed, along with one of his accomplices, were found dead in their cells. They had used their shirts to hang themselves. This was the police report. When the autopsy was conducted, there were signs of torture. Javed's family was convinced that he was killed because he had tried to reveal the names of top...
All right. Y'all might be wondering why it is that I'm not showing all of the chats that come through. It's because some of them are like this, and they're just words that are supposed to represent something that's in someone's particular channel, you know, and it doesn't really look great when you pop that stuff up. Hey, we got a Truth Be Told audits in here.
Apologies for that, my good man. Apologies.
It's fine.
What are you apologizing for?
These. You know, I was just trying to explain why it is that I'll show these because they've got the actual emoji in them, but I don't generally pop these up because it just looks like gibberish to everybody. Covers a lot of the screen. I just hadn't thought about the fact that I hadn't explained that during this period because it hadn't been a problem in a minute. And it's not a problem now, but there you go, friends. So you reckon they got him? That asshole. Did they actually take him out? I hope so. They said the death penalty stood. So we'll see.
Government officials within the Pakistani government who slept with his boys, Jeffrey Epstein style, just without the island.
Wow.
For the skeptics. 4 days before Javed Iqbal was found dead in his cell, the country's highest Islamic court had agreed to hear his appeal against the death sentence. Thanks for tuning into Twisted Minds. That was the case of Javed Iqbal. And why don't you go ahead and click?
Oh, I wonder. Sounds familiar. I didn't know you could let certain chat in and out. That's awesome. You could do a lot of stuff over there, huh? We almost threw that part of the stream. So if you need to come back in a few, then we understand and appreciate you, John. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Don't mind me.
Well, if you're using the StreamYard chat, you can see every chat being co-streamed. But if you're in your chat, you'll only see the individuals that are coming out of your
Barbie
stream.
has at least one person in her chat that is not showing up in StreamYards.
Really?
Are they chatting?
It's MGTOW. Is MGTOW in your chat, Barbie?
He left one message at the very beginning of the chat.
Right. But it never showed up over here.
Are you sure?
I've gone back and looked. I have looked. When she
weird.
first mentioned it, I went looking for him. And as far as I
Do
can
you have him
tell,
blocked?
I do not. It should not matter on this end.
On StreamYard? Yeah, let me see.
Right.
If I see it in
I
mine.
don't think I have him blocked on my channel. I have no reason to have had him blocked.
I don't have him blocked either.
No,
I
he
just
showed
think
up
it's weird.
in
He
the
just
chat.
recently started being vocal.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it's possible that I missed it, but I went looking for it specifically. So,
Well, see, Shadow and Light is in her chat.
yeah, yeah, and I got that one. But right after she commented to him, I saw her response to him, but I had never seen his particular.
His was the very first one once I started
In your chat,
restreaming.
he's probably 729th in the rest of them, though. I mean,
Yeah,
I got
in
all of
yours.
them.
That's all I'm going through it and looking.
It ain't even like that. All right. So at this point, we're going to do something a little bit different from planned. That was very disturbing. I did not like it. I'll be honest. So I'm going to put up some wild memes in the background for y'all to read whenever y'all want to. I'm going to mute the guy who talks. We're going to do this. We're going to take that down because I'm better than that.
Chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Oh my gosh, when my sister and I were little, growing up, and we'd go up to Tennessee to visit my grandparents, we'd go into the cow pasture to fly our kites. You know, we always had to, watch out for cow patties. Well, growing up, my grandpa always told my little sister that she got her freckles because she stood behind a cow and it farted.
Wow.
It's showing up on my end. I see it over here.
All right. Hey, what's up, Toe for Life? Welcome in.
To the building.
So I have freckles everywhere. My sister told me when I was a child, and she has stuck to this story throughout my entire life, that I am not actually her brother, but a kid that was picked up on the side of the road and adopted, and that I was actually painted white, and my freckles is where all the paint's chipping off. That I'm actually an Ethiopian white boy, because when I was a child, I was very skinny. And this is her explanation for my existence.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Sisters, huh?
Oh my goodness gracious.
I was trying to fix it to where it would link both of them, but it didn't.
World child.
Good evening, Joan.
Oh, I know it.
Make stupid people famous. Good to see
I
you.
got a squirrel in my hair, and it was from a cow lick.
Road child. Ben T. What's up, bud?
Okay.
Is that actually running?
Did I
Yes.
get that?
Okay.
Team Edward.
You know, sparkle simps are welcome.
Oh, shit.
It's fine. But Barbie, we can't hear the voices in your head except for the one that's coming out.
I just realized my phone was about to die.
It's very good.
Okay.
Like
Turbo power connected.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got one of those chargers.
Ooh. Who's my lucky 2 contestants in the building right now, huh?
Wait, what? Who? Where?
Thank you so much for staying here, everybody who's left.
I run everybody else off.
It's like, damn it, I already knew that.
Jump back up to 6 now.
But that is funny.
I blame y'all.
I don't know who that
What,
is.
for her career-ending injury? That's not our fucking fault. Bitch is old.
Oh my goodness gracious. Sable.
She is. Rapino, she's old. She knows that's what it is. She knows that's what it is.
I take it she plays soccer.
She, if that's what you want to call it,
she did.
They got smoked. They got smoked by a group of 14-year-old B stringers. That's the world champions women's soccer team. Got put down like a bad puppy by the 16-year-old B stringers from like Uruguay or some shit. It's hilarious.
Wow.
I thought it was funny. 14-year-olds, and they were clowning on them women too. That's what got me, is they didn't just go out there and beat them. They went out there and clowned on them women.
In home grow. What's up, man? Ariana.
Vegetarian hot dogs contain meat for flavor.
Oh,
But
wow.
what kind of meat?
All right, you want me to end your
We don't
thing,
even
or
need
you
to go
want?
there.
That's up
Let's
to you,
go.
baby. You do
Me?
it your way.
Yeah.
I was talking to Ajot. She's dipping out. I was asking if she wanted to enter stream or if she wanted to just let it in when I'm done, which will be in about another hour.
You're the one who ends it, right?
Yes, I can do that. But if you want to end your attachment to it, all you gotta do is click the button up there and edit it to remove. And
Oh, I was wondering. I seen the remove, and I was like, does that take me out of it? I was wondering.
it takes your stream stays up on your channel until you private it, but it takes you out of the live stream for now. I think after you remove it, if you wanted to, you could go and reconnect it. I don't know. I haven't tried that. I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
Chicken meat soup. I don't believe you.
What was the question?
Said he
Whether
just
or not-
what?
About the I know that if you go through and you can end your part of the live stream just by clicking on that, that little symbol up at the top right, and remove it, but it won't take you off the panel. For that matter, you can leave the panel and you'll still be co-streaming until he ends it, or you can come back on and enter the StreamYard again and end it.
Or you can let me know and I can turn it off over here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flexibility there, which is really cool. I'm not sure how useful it is, really. I suppose if there were parts of a show you didn't want on your channel, but I wanted to show, we could start it, do part of it, end it, do the part you don't want on your channel, and then start again. But that all seems very strange.
Well, why wouldn't you just go through and edit it out? using the editor.
Well, because it actually goes up live. If you didn't want to have certain data at all, like if somebody was saying certain naughty words that you know are verboten,
yeah,
you're monetized or whatever, you know.
Yeah, although I guess you could make it private or
well, that's
not.
the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Basically, you just, as soon as you come down and it give you the opportunity, you private it.
Yeah, that's true.
When I first started Sasquatch Shields, this whole Chilling with Sasquatch grew from the After Dark portion of that show. And when I first started Sasquatch Shields, the purpose of it was to make the episode, not the live stream. And so I would private the live streams just as soon as I got done with them.
Yeah.
It made so many people mad. They got so mad, dude. They were like, well, I was going to watch that later. No, you're not. Fine.
Hey, here's just a thought, Squatch. You could go through and make them members only. That way they...
I'm not monetized.
Is that what
even
you're
to
going to
that.
do when you are?
That was my plan when I first started putting it together, was to leave the episodes up free, have the live streams be anybody can show up, and then have the rewatch of them be members only type.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is I got bitched out by every single one of my mods every single day for about 2 months, in emails and text and on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else. They came at me. And finally, I was just like, you know what? Fine, screw it. Y'all can just watch whatever y'all want to watch.
Are you on Instagram?
Well, one thing
I
about
think
it
it was a
also,
mistake.
well, if you're, a lot of people do struggle for their watch hours.
Yeah.
And if you privatize them, then at least for those individuals that need watch hours, they wouldn't get those if they marked them as private or whatever. So
right. That was another thing. That was another aspect of when I was looking at the metrics of trying to decide whether to leave them public or make them private. There was a couple of them, like the one, my NC Tyrant Hunter live stream, when I did the Sasquatch Shields for him, I think I had close to 2,000 people in chat at one point in time. Wow. It was wild. It was wild. Like, we got rated by like 3 different channels all in a row. So for a little while there, my chat just went. There was nothing I could do with it. I was just randomly poking at shit, hoping it would highlight. Nothing I could do with it, bro. But it was a good lesson. It was still a really good lesson.
That's funny.
I love that movie.
No regrets. R-A-G.
Not even one single letter.
I know a guy who has the words "to thy one self be true" on his leg because the guy who did the tattoo couldn't spell on, apparently.
Oh no. Are you oh my god.
Nice.
Dude.
All right, brother. Appreciate you coming through. You know how to end the stream on your channel?
Now I do. The remove, right?
Make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Y'all take it easy, all right?
You got to do it before you leave, bro. If you leave, you can't do it. It's left up to me, and I'll do something kinky on your channel.
In the world where I say good night and greatness to everybody. Thank you for joining in to Lawless World TV. Peace out, everybody. Ow!
Good meeting you.
Let me see. Remove and
there you go. You did it. You did good.
I did.
I'm proud of you. You're growing as a streamer. Look at you.
He gets like a A in the first class of slave class, YouTube slave class.
Actually, I'm not doing that on YouTube. I feel like YouTube might take offense.
We can do that Rumble.
It's gonna have to be elsewhere. I think I'm gonna make that part of my backstage thing. I don't know if I'm gonna put that up anywhere. Because and this cat right here is probably the second most, I don't know how to explain it. We've had a lot of the same questions and we've done different experiments to get the answers, and we came up a lot of times with the same answers from our different methods. So chances are they're more likely correct, or were at the time, I suppose.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you have a more inquisitive mind than most people, and not too many people is at the point where they're willing to go and try to figure these things out. They just want to accept what other people say, and I don't accept what anybody says unless
Right? I don't believe not one of you bitches. Not one. None of y'all. I don't believe none of you. Y'all can tell me some stuff. I will immediately go
I will go
backstage.
double check it.
Half a dozen people's backstages until I find out what I need to know to tell whether it's true, most likely true, not true, or completely absurd. And I've found a lot of completely absurd, a lot from what people tell me.
Yeah. Let's see.
He probably still honks the horn because you never know.
I can tell you this part from
I know
experience.
some that automatically back up, that beep automatically when you put it in reverse.
Yeah, they beep automatically, but there on some forklifts, there's like a literal button you got to mash to make the beep beep happen. On some forklifts, when you pass it through neutral into reverse, a horn goes off and then the beep starts. It's part of the reversing process. It's the same switch. But on the one that I used at the pipe plant, there was a button wired to the bottom of the steering wheel.
The wheel.
And when you turn the steering wheel, it would go beep, 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 beep.
But then when you stopped, it wouldn't beep. Yeah.
So as long as you were going straight forward and back, it wasn't a problem. The problem was driving forward or backwards. It was like beep, 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 beep. It was horrible. I hated that thing. But that same place had the coolest forklift I've ever seen. It was a multi-articulated, multi-footed design. The damn thing's wheels were on extendable hydraulics, so you could walk it across the dirt.
Yeah. I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
No one could drive it when I first started up working there. It was just sitting in the corner with a sticker stuck on it that was like, no. And I was like, why isn't anyone using that? And the night manager brought me over. He was like, no one can figure out how to drive it. And I walked over and popped open the back, and there was a manual sitting right there in the little pocket. And I'm like,
see, that's what you don't ever want to for me is the manual to something. Because if I can find the manual, I'm getting in it and I'm driving it. I can operate it. I can put it together. Whatever it is, if there's a manual, it can be done.
Well,
if it does not have a manual, I cannot fucking do it.
But by that point in time, I had qualified on like 176 heavy equipment. So, like, if it's got wheels, I can drive it.
If it's got a wheel, I can drive that.
That's when you go to YouTube and look up how to drive this particular vehicle.
Exactly. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
Got just about everything else on there.
Yeah. There was one thing I could not figure out from YouTube.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
Oh my God. Stop that. Cut them into circles and replace
your mates. Whoa, calm down, Satan. Satan was like, exactly. That is.
No, Satan was like, stop that. You're evil.
He was like, I don't co-sign to that. That was not me. That was from a darker place.
All right, make stupid people famous. I appreciate it, bud. Never honked. Whinging, not bitching. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, right. I mean, steaks. I'm going to have steaks tomorrow. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. That's lunch tomorrow. Steaks. Damn right. I'm doing it.
Andy Pickle asked, how did you wreck the forklift?
Actually, that one I never wrecked. The only one I ever wrecked was
I was watching a how to drive a forklift video.
While I was driving.
While I was driving the forklift.
I didn't wreck a lull. A lull failed on me, right? So when you're dealing with the lull, they also have articulated wheels, and it has like this extendable boom, and the forks move this way, and you can move the forks this way, and I was moving some material off of a roof down to the ground, and one of the hoses burst, and I got like a hot shower and hydraulic fluid. It was disgusting. The disgusting. Well, okay, so that's bad, but the really bad part was when the boom come down, it jacked up the back end of that thing so high it almost launched me right out of it, dude. Like it was like flam.
I mean, you were scared.
It happened so quick, I didn't really have a chance to be afraid. It was just like I was just operating the machine. And everything went to hell so quick that I just stepped out. I turned it off, did everything you're supposed to do, did a safety lockout on it, and then I left.
Have you ever fixed a frame that got warped or bent or like damaged?
On like, you talking about like bending with bending?
Yeah, like bent in a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got the right equipment, you can do that. But for the most part, if the frame of a vehicle is bent, it is totaled.
It's totaled.
The reason it is totaled is because you will never get it to actually take an alignment, and you will forever be devouring tires.
That's what I wanted to know.
It is cheaper to replace the vehicle in the long run than it is to try to get the frame fixed. Even if you're successful in fixing the frame, it's going to cost you a couple of grand anyway. There's a very good chance that you're going to continue eating up tires anyway, just because that's the way your truck drives now.
Dude, and whatever it's doing with the arm, there's an arm. I can't remember what its specific arm it is, but that's what's causing it to not only wear into the tires, but like snap the fucking lug nuts off, dude. Like, it's crazy. I'm not getting back in that car again. Oh my God. How cute. So cute.
Right?
Look at the face. Look at the little face. Oh my God.
My wife's telling me we need to get our moose a little brother. And I'm like,
yes, I agree.
Getting pretty old there. Sun's getting low there, big fella. You sure you want to pick up another life that we're not going to survive? I mean,
oh, don't think of it like that. You're not that old, Papa Damn.
You can't be cheated.
I refuse to accept that you're old. No.
I'll get you one more.
Oh, so okay, so that's a thing. So that's why all of them are C chargers now. I hate that shit.
When it comes to hydraulic bursts, the pressure is so high that it literally injects through the skin into the space between the skin and the muscle and inflates it like a balloon. And there's almost no way to get that stuff out short of an alcohol flush. Yeah. And that means your skin doesn't reattach to where it's supposed to reattach. And so, yes, you can end up losing a finger just from a split-second jet of hydraulic fluid.
You know, you could also have problems if you try to do that with a high pressure airline.
Oh, especially if there's no water in it, bro.
Yeah. Humidity. Yeah.
Yep. That'll make a high pressure airline very, very, very dangerous.
I love my air compressor though.
Don't tempt me.
I think it's so cool that it's just it is. People not expect it walk by, and I just flip that thing on and blow air at them. I love it. I'm weird. Because I know what it is. They get all freaked out. Right. It's just air.
So at this point, I am going to offer up the YouTube slave class after dark thing, which usually happens in off of everything. I might leave it up on Rumble this time. I haven't done it on Rumble yet.
I said, how do you live stream on Rumble? How are you doing that?
Yes, I am. What you have to do, in fact, there's 5 people watching on Rumble, although I've yet to see anything in the chat. Anyway, what you have to do is you have to go into Stream. If you're using StreamYard, you have to go into StreamYard, set up the stream. This is the way I do it. It's easier this way. You name it. You do your full description in YouTube like you normally would. And then after all of that's done, you click your Rumble add-on, which you have to do everything you did to be able to stream to YouTube. You have to do that with Rumble, right? And then you start a live stream on the Rumble app, the Rumble site. You have to go to Rumble, start a live stream, and then when you go back to connect your Rumble, the live stream you just created will be available for you to link this live stream to that live stream. And that's why I said type out everything in the description and title first, because then you can copy paste it straight over to Rumble, and it only takes a few clicks instead of having to sit down and actually figure out
Do all that.
everything again. I've got that part pretty well streamlined.
Well, see, for some reason, my Rumble, I guess it's just, I don't know, but it's the app maybe. But it just lets me upload. It does not right now currently let me live stream. So I don't know what that's about. Either.
Right. I don't know how many.
I don't know.
I am in I'm mod 4.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure I'm a mod on her channel. I don't think I'm a mod on YouTube Police. I'm on one of your channels.
You are on mine. You're definitely a mod on mine, I'm pretty sure.
I think you are a mod on mine, but let me go over and look.
Well, I just dropped the link in the back chat and in the live chat that goes to everywhere. And it's the backstage link to get in here. I'm going to give it about another 3 minutes, and then I'm going to play my play
what
out.
I do, just click it.
No, it's
No.
You're in here. Why would you click it?
Oh.
Don't understand your thought process. It baffles me.
I don't understand my thought process either. Did you see where I made a whole nother private link? I don't even know how I did that. Did you see that?
I don't know what that was exactly.
In my StreamYard, there's a whole nother private recording studio link besides the one you set up. I set up one. I don't even know how I did it.
Oh, you set it up and click record instead of live? You can go in and delete it the same way. That's exactly what happened. That's how you do it. That's why I set one up in there, was so that if you want to talk to somebody and you don't want to do a live stream to do it, send them the private link, go and wait. They'll show up or won't. I don't know what to tell you any further than that.
You can also go into an old live stream, and of course, you wouldn't be able to record it.
Right.
But if you just wanted to talk to somebody, you could send them like a previous live stream link, StreamYard link.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. You can do that. And I have come across people doing that, which is weird, because I had this one StreamYard link that was saved onto my desktop, and I couldn't figure out how it had gotten there. Apparently I had inadvertently, and I reached over and was like, I don't know, click every now and then. I'd just go in there because I couldn't figure out
it, and you'll go in there.
Yeah, there's like 10 people sitting around playing poker, and I was like, they're like, oh, Sasquatch, come on in. I was like, what's going on over here?
What's going on here, guys?
We play poker here every Saturday. I was like, okay. Groovy. Yeah, bud.
That's weird.
See ya. All right.
They see
We're
me.
gonna,
Good to see you.
At least that verifies everything's working. Let's do this part of the world. All right. This is Andrew eating chips, apparently. Okay, good enough. I'll tell you what you do. I want you to grab a handful of them chips and eat them.
Grab a hat and a needle?
A handful.
A handful of chips and eat them.
I wonder if I have a handful. So I got them right here.
Good enough. Crunch on them real good.
Yeah.
This is dedicated to ATL Transparency News. Thank you, Andrew.
He didn't like when people eat on the stream.
It's just the way we roll, baby. It's just the way we roll.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. On my own, here we go.
If you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
The communists declared that the real differences among our people constituted the weakest and most vulnerable point in our social fabric.
It's MAGA country.